Mario Kart Wii is my favorite game in the Mario Kart series. Not only did it have great characters, great tracks, great game modes, great online, great multiplayer, and great controls, but it also had amazing physics. I'm not a pro player by any means, but do you know who is?
Hey guys, it's Troy here.
Whilst reflecting on my inability to beat the CTGP Expert Staff Ghost on Mushroom Gorge, I came to a realization. Perhaps there's a way to exploit this game's limitless potential to make something completely and utterly stupid. And there is.
How many Mario Kart Wii tracks can be beaten without using boost panels? Here are the rules.
Don't touch boost panels. I don't care if you got the boost or not, touching that thing is forbidden. I'm gonna ban these blue zipper things too, even though they technically aren't boost panels, but not these little bumps from the SNES and GBA tracks. I'll also ban the Mushroom Gorge panels despite them having similar properties to those mini mounds because they're still panels.
We'll mention where the boost panels are in each track, but just know that if we're driving on it intentionally, then it isn't a boost panel. Mushrooms are fair game. And finally, although we can't stop them from showing up in item boxes, bullet bills are not allowed to touch boost panels. Using Dolphin's free cam, we attempted to see if they touch the ground or not. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. It's fine to use them to catch up, but not to try to skip boost panels.
In order to beat Mario Kart Wii, we have to see the credits. The credits play at the end of Special Cup and Lightning Cup, but you have to play the other tracks to unlock these cups. To unlock Star and Leaf Cup, you have to earn a trophy in both Mushroom and Flower or Shell and Banana, and to unlock Special or Lightning, you have to earn a trophy in Star or Leaf. To test if we'd be able to earn a trophy more easily, we'll be using Versus mode with 150cc and hard CPUs to keep trying the same track. The best score we can get in each track will be added up, and we'll see if it would be good enough to get a trophy or not.
Alright, let's get started.
A lot of tracks in Mario Kart Wii simply have alternate paths containing boost panels or no boost panels at all. We won't focus on these tracks, so let's start off with Mushroom Gorge. If you have enough speed, you can jump to this first mushroom without going near the panel at all. The cave panel can be avoided with the same treatment, but it's easy to accidentally run into it. However, the panels in the middle are a little more challenging. We can't take the right path for obvious reasons, so we have to dodge these guys. You can simply go in the grass if you want, but often you'll be giving up any hopes of first place. You can also jump past them, but it's honestly really difficult. I'd only recommend the grass if you have easy access to mushrooms. That way, you can easily escape and you can do the gap jump later on.
Toad's Factory is our first real roadblock in this challenge, as it's the first track to feature boost panels that we can't just drive around. The first panel can be cleared with a simple hop, but the boost panel at the end is a nightmare to deal with. Even with a mushroom, we can't jump over it. So, this is where things get a little bit complicated. We need an item that can launch us upwards and forwards at the same time. We need a fake item box, or a fib, as we'll be calling it.
As I'm sure you've noticed, the item you get in Mario Kart Wii is not entirely random. Depending on what placement you're in, you can get a number of different items. If you want to get your hand on a fib, you have to be in either first, second, third, or fourth. In first, you have a 35% chance of getting the item. In second, a 20% chance. In third, a 10% chance. And in fourth, a 5% chance. In Grand Prix mode, there's also a 5% chance of getting a fib in 5th place, so testing in Versus mode actually made the challenge slightly more difficult.
So in order to get past the boost panel, we need to be somewhere in the top 4 spots, hope we get a fib from an item box, throw it in front of the panel, then drive into it. If all is done correctly, the boost panel will have been bypassed. The mud section isn't too difficult since you could just drive around the sides without even touching the off-road.
But now we have another problem. We are no longer in a position where obtaining a fib is possible. So we have to play our items well to ensure we get back into a good spot before we reach the final set of items before the ramp. Since you'll be spending less time in first, you have a much smaller chance of getting a fib, so you enjoy that.
The third lap is definitely the worst one. You'll most likely be entering the lap in one of the bottom positions, so your only hope will be a bullet bill. You can't use it before the first boost panel, since that would be breaking the rules we set at the beginning of the video, so you have to jump, then use it. This means that your chance of getting a fib are even lower than before, and you have even less item boxes to work with. But it turns out you don't need a fib after all. Apparently, blindly throwing green shells does the trick as well. Fine by me.
The best position I was able to get was around 9th place, but I think I could have achieved better if I didn't get stuck on this tractor for 20,000 years. A 9th place victory winds you up with 3 points, which brings our Mushroom Cup total to 48 points. The average 3rd place trophy would be obtained with 40 points, so even our Toad's Factory failures should net us a trophy and the chance to reach Star Cup. The Flower Cup is generally alright in terms of boost avoidance, but Coconut Mall still exists. It's not too bad overall, but the ending is a little irritating. Thankfully, a well-timed jump can net you some freedom if you take the bottom path. It's easy to miss, but overall it isn't too bad.
Wario's gold mine though? Yeah, let's begin with the very starting area. There's a boost panel blocking the path and it's not on a ramp, so you can't just jump over. Thankfully, you can make it around the outside, but it's really precise. You can also do whatever this is to jump over despite the sticky road gluing you to the track. And then this, I have no idea how you could even bypass this boost panel, so don't try, but Wario's Gold Mine thankfully has an ultra shortcut which doesn't require us to use any boost panels. If you jump from the starting area to this pipe, the game will think you've driven an entire lap when you obviously haven't. If you want more information on ultra shortcuts, I recommend checking out Summoning Salt's ultra shortcut video.
However, we have a slight issue with performing the ultra shortcut. Here are the nearest item boxes. Here are the other nearest item boxes. So where do we go? Well, we simply gotta drive all the way back here, then drive all the way back to the pipes to attempt the shortcut. Although, here's something interesting I found while goofing around. Apparently we don't even need mushrooms. A bullet bill can perform the ultra shortcut, which is stupid, but I'll roll with it. Completing Wario's Gold Mine in first place nets at 60 points for this cup, which means Star Cup is now accessible. Koopa Cape is one of my favorite tracks. I really love... Oh. Never mind.
Here's the deal. In VS mode, you can simply wait for every racer to finish all 3 laps, except 12th place, and move on. But in Grand Prix, your ending rank is determined by how quickly you're able to beat the 4 tracks, so the timer doesn't stop when everyone is done. So although this is being tested in VS mode, in Grand Prix, we would not be able to bypass this, which means you would never be able to leave Koopa Cape. And if we never leave Koopa Cape, we never get to see Maple Treeway, Grumble Volcano, or any of the Special Cup. This one track is blocking off half the game. We need to put 100% faith into the Retro Cups now, because if any of these tracks mess up, we will not be able to beat Mario Kart Wii without touching a single boost panel. The only way I can see Koopa Cape being possible is like if you clip the wall, but that's probably, doing that 3 times sounds exhaustingly difficult.
Well, would you look at that? All of Shell Cup is beyond easy and Banana Cup is looking pretty promising as well. And I'm pretty sure Delfino Square doesn't have any... Okay, well, this doesn't actually matter. Despite fiddling around with fibs and waiting for the bridge, just driving off the edge with a mushroom respawns us on the other side of the boost panels. So as long as we grab an item box in any placement that isn't first place, we have a shot of catching up and clearing the jump on all 3 laps. Despite being required to fall off 3 times, I was still able to get first place on this track.
Waluigi Stadium is actually a really nice track. Despite having boost panels and half pipes on every turn, you can go around all of them. You can even cross the gap at the end without any mushrooms, which is a really nice surprise. This means that we have 60 points in the bank for both the Shell and Banana Cup, and we can move on to the Leaf Cup.
After moving through 2 more tracks that don't really have any challenge at all whatsoever, we're greeted with a major roadblock. In Donkey Kong's Jungle Parkway, in order to reach the other side of this gap, you have to use the cannon. There is no way to get from here to here without going in this cannon. And do you know what you use to access the cannon? A boost panel! Sure, it has a different pattern, but that's definitely a boost panel. And there's our question answered. It is
Still possible to beat Mario Kart Wii without touching a single boost panel. Although, actually pulling this off is near impossible, and because it's near impossible, we'll be showing how it's theoretically possible rather than doing it ourselves, because yeah, just like we explained earlier, ultra shortcuts can be used to skip plenty of boost panels, and there's one in Parkway. As demonstrated in the world record, you must perform a wall clip off this tree to get the height to go through this wall. Simply explained, a wall clip is like getting the knockback from hitting a wall, except you keep your momentum and shoot upwards. Perform this trick 3 times using triple mushrooms and golden mushrooms from the available item sets, and you're good to go.
And of course, GCN Mario Circuit doesn't have any boost panels, so this opened up Lightning Cup on our final shot at clearing the game. Lightning Cup is thankfully very nice to us in terms of boost panels until the very last track. Yeah, we need another fib. And for some reason, I had way worse luck with items than in Toad's factory. Every time I got my hand on a fib, the CPU players made sure that I lost it as soon as possible. I also found it a little more awkward to place the fib for some reason. I kept missing my target or throwing it in really stupid locations.
In case you're struggling to catch up, there's a shortcut on the right with this rail. You can hop onto it and skip the last turn without any mushrooms. It's a little tricky to avoid the wall at the end, but it's easily possible with enough practice.
And with that done, our question is answered. Yes, it is possible to beat Mario Kart Wii without touching a single... Funky Kong? Okay, good. Don't you touch that boost panel. Funky Kong, don't do it. Don't do it, Funky Kong! No! Don't do it, Funky Kong! No! Funky Kong! You idiot! You idiot! No!
Of course, that was just a little joke. And with that, guys, we reached the credits without touching a single boost panel. So yes, we can beat Mario Kart Wii without touching a single boost panel. The Nitro tracks may have failed us, but at least the Retro tracks came in to save the day.
You're probably wondering if any other Mario Kart challenges exist. Thankfully for you, Troy's entire channel revolves around Mario Kart and the many ways to enjoy the game. You should also check out my own videos, and you should definitely give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I cover lots of different Mario games and try to complete stupid, worthless challenges such as this one.
And with that, thank you for watching, enjoy Funky Kong dancing, and peace.